Hi everyone, Namaste. Let me start. Today what I'm going to share is this right brain holistic approach in a children with a mental trauma. But before we go there, let me take you to one case study and then it'll be easy for me to explain the whole concept of scientifically intuitive witnessing process and its 3 step. It's a case of a child who is just becoming teenager with mental trauma due to his German, French and a mathematics teacher, because of which he's lost 7 kg of a weight. He's having violent anger and recurrent fever with testicular torsion. Mother being a very famous pediatric doctor in one of the leading hospital of that country. She tried everything possible and then she referred him to me. Yeah, so let's listen that what we do holistically in such kind of cases. Yeah, the first step is we provide an unconditional space where we ask non-leading questions so that unconditionally whatever child want to share comes on the surface. Yeah, listen carefully.
Recently, I've been getting really angry, um, mostly because of my French and German teacher, because he wants to.
Mm.
Recently, I've been getting really angry, um, mostly because of my French and German teacher, because he wants to. He wants me to repeat the year. So I'm angry about that. Every time I think I talk about it or think about it, I get very angry and punch the wall, the doors, everything.
Yeah, so you see, he's angry and what he wants to do is hold the German teacher, hold hand with one hand like this and keep punching him or throw him out of the terrace. And this is what he wants to do to him. Spoke for 15 minutes and he brought out all that anger. Of course, that is just the one part of it. I told him that behave as if you are sitting with your best friend and sharing your heart out what you are going through. So already I created that unconditional space and he went on and on. And then I started guiding him into different areas of his life. The one of them is tell me about your dreams. Those dreams which are strange, recurrent, which doesn't make any
Like
sense
some
to you.
more negative dream.
And there he comes out with these 2 dreams. I was in a school with my friend and it was the birthday of my friend of mine. So the German teacher brought a cake to me and German teacher killed them. The second dream was there was soccer game. Ev- Suddenly everything became dark. Again that German teacher comes with the head of the teacher but the body of a dragon. And then technically he falls in the mouth of this dragon. Yeah. He goes on with some more dreams. Like some more negative dreams just to understand,
This was a very bad dream, or I have never felt this way. I was owner of a club, a bar, and it was the night before Christmas. I was looking above from a glass room. Mm-hmm. Then a magician came into the room, tried to kill me. We fought and fought, and when I tried to snap his neck, he revealed himself, and it turned out to be the German teacher. The German and the French teacher are the same. He revealed himself, and then he choked me and slit my throat.
You understood? He choked him and slit his throat. You see, from in what he feels, that trauma, now how he thinks, feels, and perceive is coming out. Let it come out as much as possible, as complete as possible. I keep going.
Then I woke up.
Yeah? Oh. Sorry, this is...
My throat. Then I woke up.
Then he speaks about one more dream, that someone shot him in the leg and was called a destroyed, a villain, but he revealed himself, and then finally he also turned out to be a German teacher. One or two more story like this, very abstract, very weird, whatever comes right now. Now I keep telling him that tell me some more stories. From the dreams, I take him to the stories because it is easy in a story form to give the worst image. In a reality, our conscious brain stops us to do that. So I make either a story or a drawing and tell him to describe as completely as possible. And then he tells one story almost as if a Joker, that movie. Huh? Yeah. And then he turned out to be a German teacher. Again, the same. Let everything come out. I go further. Keep making this kind of stories till I know everything came out, or he keeps repeating again. Yeah. Then one place where the German teacher turned into a sniper and choke him to the death, step by step, till his heart stops. So I go further, that now make one story a worse story, where your German teacher is in the center and he takes the worst form. One story where the German teacher is turning into one animal. What comes in your mind and what he will do to you?
Turned into a snake, and I'm very scared of snakes. The German appears and turns into a snake, a giant anaconda. He wraps himself around me, chokes me to death, and then swallows me, eats me.
You saw? And the whole story. So this is just the first form comes out. Then I tell him to make the worst, keep that German teacher in the center and keep making that story. And the finally what comes out is this, that he's walking in a jungle on a wet grass, suddenly an anaconda appears, trapped him, and that anaconda is nothing but the German teacher. Yeah, he coils me around me and swallows me and strangulates me and chokes me. And then he sees himself inside that there's a pink wall. He takes the knife, cut, and comes out. The moment he comes out, the anaconda turns into the German teacher, and the German teacher with the same knife stab him till death. You see, this is the extreme what he feels inside him, which has no logic. The logic is trauma. Yeah, the vision is that German teacher is doing in a different form, which comes up in dream, imagination, stories, even in his drawings, even in his anger. And bring it out to the worst. Let the whole be out. That's what I did. And once the whole is out, you see something here. Hmm? Once the whole is out, now what to do? Now do we, in a homeopathic, once the whole is out, now what we do is we take it a next step. Now, once the whole is out, we take this to the next step. That in this whole, do you want to change anything? And he thinks about it. He tells the whole story again. He said, I want to change the end part. When I come out, instead of he stabbing me, I stab him death till death. And when he says this, he imagined this whole thing, and then we both look at each other with a smile. And I could see that calmness there. First time I allow him to think, feel, perceive, sense, and react exactly what he feels inside. In, of course, in an interview form. You see the change there happening right there. Look what is coming up now. How do you feel now after telling all about from the anger to punching to this teacher's dream to this imagination? How do you feel now after seeing this whole imagination?
I feel I'm not angry anymore.
You are not angry anymore.
Although feel it feels good, calming. Yeah, it's calming.
What do you mean?
I'm calmer now. I'm not that. Yeah, I'm.
So what has happened to that anger right now at this given moment of time?
It's gone.
You understood? The anger is completely gone at that moment of time. And then he tells me that as it is now, I realize that the German teacher after our summer holiday will go back to Germany. So I should not be that angry to him. That awareness comes in him. So this is the whole interview. Then we do a next step further, that give him what we call a child-centric designer diary, or now in today's situation, lockdown diary. Yeah, what we do there. In that diary, I told him to write down all his dream. Right when he gets affected, the way he think, feel, perceive, sense, and react, the whole picture as it is. Second, Write the worst stories about if any trauma, or especially with this teacher, comes on the surface. Every 15 days, make a spontaneous story by keeping that German teacher in the center. So more and more he writes, the more and more he sees the whole. The more and more he stays with that whole, the more and more his inner mechanism, his inner chemicals, the brain respond to this whole and keeps him at ease. And for us, we get the exact picture. So this is what we do in whole homeopathic interview. See the follow-up. What happened to him? How are you since we spoke to each other?
I'm really good. I didn't get angry one time since we talked. Reading more.
Reading more?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't lie down as much as I did. I get up and go on treadmill, do some workout.
Tell me, how are your thoughts about your German, French, and mathematics teacher?
I am not angry at them. Actually, the German teacher isn't so mean to me anymore.
German teacher is not mean to you?
Yeah, I don't see the German teacher like a snake anymore.
You don't see German teacher as a snake anymore, huh?
No, I don't.
Okay. What happened to your testicular torsion?
It healed.
It healed?
Yeah.
Completely?
Yes. It healed.
Okay. So you see, the overall much better. Not only this, then what I did is I created a meeting between him and his German teacher. And the German teacher, he behaved almost like a homeopathic holistic healer. He gave him a space to bring out all what he felt about the teacher. And he listened completely without giving any reaction. And he gave him an advice that in future when I'm traveling back, if you still that anger comes up, make in a postcard, write everything to me or email it to me completely. That further calmed him down because it, yeah. So what happened in this two space? What we did in homeopathic interviews, what we call, we applied a homeopathic. What I did in this whole interview is applied the 3 steps of universe, which Gurdjieff calls 3 step of everything, where initially you create an unconditional open space, ask open-ended question, yeah, where the end result what comes out still scattered, not connected, like in this case some dream, anger, some imagination, some story. Then gradually you start seeing the pattern in everything the German teacher running. When you keep a German teacher in the center, the third step, that all get connected in a single whole. That what he wants to do to the German teacher is like an animal or a dragon, like a snake, like an anaconda, yeah, and how he engulfs and kills him, chokes him, strangulates him. It's like the picture which you are seeing on the other side of step 1, step 2, step 3, where you see in a step 1 scattered data, then in a step 2 they come together, and in step 3 you see all those scattered come together in a beautiful pattern, and then we are sure that this is a rat. like that. So these are the three step, or if you I want to tell you about more about this three step, it is like a cut up technique given by a surreal artist, William S. Burroughs. Yeah. Now, just a minute. I'm not. Yeah. He was a famous novel writer. Yeah. He had no particular path, like a conventional method you have, or a straight jacket of a linear writer with a beginning, middle, and the end. What he did is a step one. He free flew, unconditional space, and whatever touched him, sentence from the newspaper, books, TV, movies, other writing, he just cut them and pasted there beautifully in a random. Of course, it didn't make sense to him to start. Then gradually start seeing a pattern, unexpected connection, pattern or a focus started coming. He kept that in mind and just kept collecting things in the same way until he saw that there is a beginning, there is a middle, there is an end, and the whole novel is completed. This is what, these are the three steps which we follow in homeopathic interview, where we put initially scientific effort of giving an unconditional space to the child, ask non-leading question, see the pattern running, keep asking about that pattern in a step two, and keep asking till the whole is out. Once the whole is out, now what is happening is the law of cure. What is law of cure? When a two similar thing come together, the stronger removes the weaker. Yeah, this is the law of universal law of cure which we use in holistic healing with the homeopathy. As you see in this picture, that a person is cut from his root, but a similar thing coming and taking him back to his position. So that similar thing, what we take, either one of the substance in the universe, yeah, a plant or a mineral or an animal substance, that match, cure happens. Or what we do, as you saw in the case today, we, in the homeopathic interview, you create a mirror where they see the whole and a stronger, so the weaker is removed. And that's what happened in the whole interview. When he saw the whole, he himself felt better. Yeah. So this is what, two more method I want to tell you here, which you will like it and it will help you in your practice. The first one is, yeah, make more many, all, all of them, you tell them to make a diary. I call Meri Kitab, my book, a designer diary, where systematically, unconditionally, they note down different thing, note down what they think, feel, perceive, sense, and react to any trauma, to any mental disturbances, physical disturbances. They make an art, maybe painting, story, poem about what is bothering them and write it there. Hmm? Or what this trauma or a lockdown mean to them. So, like that, gradually many things are coming up in that diary, and I tell them to read it every 2 or 3 months. And as they read, they start seeing the pattern. They start staying with that whole. In a way, they are making a friendship with it. Yeah. And the second method, which sorry, before going there, you see in the drawing one of the child where he made that box there, he's trapped in this box. Yeah, that's what he feels, but he wants to come out, take a jump like this. It's a rainy weather and he wants to enjoy like this. Yeah. One more method which really helps me in this whole Children with the trauma basically is what I call internal witnessing, where I use 3 step: invite, witness, and release. What are these? Any child with a trauma or something bothering them, I tell them to sit, close your eyes. Step 1, just bring that trauma in front of your eyes. Visualize as completely as possible every corner of it, every part of it, as if you are reliving. Now see the central which is affecting you from that. Keep that in front of your eyes and keep seeing it. And while you see that, see what is happening inside your body, anywhere in the body. What we call bodily sensation. Once you experience that, bring all your focus to this in the step 2 and keep watching that bodily experience which is strange, not connected, coming directly from the body. Keep watching. Let the whole come out. Along with that, watch the way your mind feel, think, perceive, sense, and react to this whole. And this complete pattern, now keep watching. And then the third step starts, which we call release, is keep watching this whole thing disappear step by step, what you have felt in the body. What I'm achieving through this 3 step. A, that with a trauma, children doesn't want to speak about the trauma. So this is the best way that they themselves are seeing it, they themselves are inviting it to the surface, refeeling it. So they don't have to share with anyone. Second, the way this trauma affecting your body at a whole level, it comes on the surface. So it's not just a one part is coming, the whole is coming out. The moment they bring that whole on the surface, body produces those chemical which is needed to counter this experience. So already a mirror has been created. And the third, when it disappears completely. Now the trauma is still there, the situation still there, but it's not bothering you at a body level because you released it completely. You already have those chemicals which needed to fight with this. So this way, this becomes a very important tool, what I call internal witnessing. I do with children and grown up, especially with the mental, emotional disturbances and trauma where they don't feel free to share with me. Many cases I've treated with this method. Yeah. And lastly, I want to stop like this, that I'm sure many of you must have seen this movie, Steven Spielberg's Bridge of the Spies, where there is a repeat variation of this voice exchange between the two leading character. And you see this, that character is, do you never worry? And the other character says, would it help? Naturally, now with this lockdown or the new normal situation or this with trauma, will that help to worry? So the what will help is, it's the time to understand more so that we fear less. Yeah. Thank you so much.